Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another live by the 12th man. I just started another one. I'm sorry, something went wrong on that, some technical difficulties. However, we are back. The team for the day is Mumbai Indians. I've tried to match colors till now. Today is also perhaps the last day I'd be able to do it with Gujarat and Ahmedabad. Gujarat and Lucknow up next. I'm not. I hope they magically put up their jersey designs tomorrow. In case that does not happen, I've tried to match blue and gold for Mumbai Indians today, and we're supposed to be joined by Jaanhavi Mahendru, who's I think who's here will be connected with us soon. Um, till then, let's lay it out for today. Udit, thanks for being here, buddy. It is MI today. Yes, exactly. And when we think about Mumbai Indians, बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें हैं जो हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, starting from auction strategy to their performances last in the previous seasons. Mumbai is one of the biggest teams in the IPL. It is one of the most followed teams in the IPL, and that makes it all the more watched. Whenever at the auction table there's a bid from Mumbai Indians, there are 10 things that are discussed whenever somebody enters the Mumbai Indians team as a fan. You're always thinking about how things go around that particular person. So it's a widely followed team, and we need to then think about the um I think about every decision that they take. About Mumbai Indians, if we get straight into it, the things that we will be talking about today, of course, one will be forming the playing 11 with our expert. Number two, I'll quickly check up the comments also. Number two, we'll have to talk about their auction buys, some worries that they might have this time, some of their strengths, and then finally make quick predictions about where they would end up on the table and how they did at the auction. Udit says, "MI कमजोर लग रही है कि वो 5 times चैंपियन है और स्काउटिंग पर भरोसा उस वजह से हम ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं." I agree, Udit. Absolutely agree with you here. मुंबई इंडियंस जितना स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम हर साल लगती आई है ऑन पेपर, अगर आप पिछले कुछ सालों की भी टीम उठाओ, the batting order, their all rounders, their bowlers, it seems like a complete unit every time. Some of these aspects seem like they're missing this time around, और उनको कवर करने के लिए मुंबई अगेन हैज टू डिपेंड ऑन अ फ्यू न्यू प्लेयर्स. एंड आई एग्री, मुंबई इंडियंस इजंट न्यू टू दैट. अगर आप देखो तो जसप्रीत बुमराह, हार्दिक पांड्या, कृणाल पांड्या, ये सब प्लेयर्स हमें नहीं पता रहते थे. हाय भरत, हाउ आर यू? The Pandya brothers, Bumrah, these guys we didn't know how did they come up, how did they become these household names. Indian team में कैसे पहुंचे? It has always been Mumbai Indians that supported them. So they have this knack of scouting the right players, bringing up the ranks. But that doesn't mean that we assume कि कुछ जो भी player मुंबई ले रही है वो उतना ही अच्छा चलेंगे या उतना ही अच्छा करेंगे. Although as fans we always hope. So those little gaps that they have, those definitely need to be filled in. If I start talking right about their auction, they had a very different strategy this time around. If we think about it, Mumbai is known to not okay. I think this was the first time Mumbai invested more than 10 CR on a player, so they're not used to going too big for one player, and they're used to forming a complete team. They did tend to overspend on a couple of players this time around, I feel. And not sure if Bumrah is if I'm saying if Jofra Archer is available, so that's eight 8 years, that's 8 CR spent on him. um Udit says Pollard will be crucial for them. If he fails to deliver, then Mumbai will be in great trouble. I agree. And before we think about Pollard, the first thing that comes to mind is he was retained for 6. Yeah, that's a steal. But Pollard is very crucial for them because of their middle order this time around. Um, the thing that then becomes important is that how the remainder of the order performs. I'll There's some technical difficulties our guest is facing. Um, give me a second. Taking quick confirmation if she'll be here. I'm not sure what is going on, but let's go ahead with this. No worries. So, lots of comments. Thank you, Udit and Bharat, for pulling through in this one. They made team for 2023 to onwards. Yes, that's the thing. अब Jofra Archer है इस team में, तो Jofra Archer 8 CR if he isn't playing this year? That is the question. Otherwise, there's no question whether you spend that much on Jofra Archer. And Bharat says he's a gift that you can't open for a year, which is terrible. Although there are rumors and talks that Jofra will be in this season, there is no official confirmation. और जब तक वो नहीं आती तब तक हम नहीं उसको अज्यूम कर सकते कि मुंबई में जोफ्रा आर्चर खेलेंगे. um, anyway, going forward, the buys that Mumbai made this year, the few buys that we definitely have to talk about. Number one, Ishan Kishan. They spent 15.25 CR on Ishan Kishan. Quickly drop through the comments. Do you feel that's worth it? Do you think they should have spent that much? The point with Ishan Kishan becomes the fact that they having spent that much have invested right back to keeping their core. The big question though that came to my head was, if not Ishan Kishan, they could have pushed through a little more for Quinton de Kock. I agree that Ishan came late at the auction, but Quinton de Kock was sold for about 6.25 CR. They could have pushed through for him till about 7, 8. Maybe if they got him at that price, they wouldn't have had to go so far for Ishan Kishan. That's one thing I felt that was strategically wrong with them. The biggest change in Mumbai's strategy, Udit says, is that they spent for a right arm fast bowler but not left arm. That's a very important point. Mumbai Indians has come to be associated with all of these left arm quicks. Mitchell McClenaghan was there who did so well for them. Over the years, there was Trent Bolt. There's Mitchell Johnson who's played for them for a while. They don't have that left arm quick with them this time around. And then what that does to this team is that they have to change their strategy accordingly. Lots of players that they then invested on. There's Tim David. They went on to spend 9 CR on Tim David as a finisher. That's why, Udit, I agree with you when you say that Pollard is one of the most important players. The others aren't as proven performers. The lack of Quinton de Kock then means that Ishan Kishan and Rohit Sharma will open. So again, I hope we have Janvi joining us soon, but in case we don't, let's start off with the playing 11 and how it looks like. Ishan Kishan will be the wicket keeper, and Rohit Sharma will be definitely opening with him. There's going to be a Surya Kumar Yadav to follow up. Then we come to the middle order, the point where we feel Mumbai Indians has lacked this time around. मुंबई में अगर हम देखें तो सबसे ज्यादा डिस्कशन सब आईपीएल 2020 जब वो जीते, सबसे ज्यादा एडवांटेज उनकी टीम में यही था कि ईशान किशन और सूर्य कुमार यादव ने मिडिल ऑर्डर में बहुत स्टेबिलिटी दी थी. अगर वो इस बार उनके पास नहीं है तो हाउ विल दे प्रोसीड? दे हैव अ न्यू नेम ऑन द रैंक्स. आई फील हु विल मेक इट टू द प्लेइंग 11 राइट एट द स्टार्ट. There is Tilak Verma, who's an under 19 superstar who's done fairly well in the domestic circuit after that. I feel here again they could have invested in somebody like a Saurabh Tiwari. Brings that experience to the order, and Saurabh Tiwari also makes sure that there is, say, if there is a collapse, he could stick in there, he could hit it right at the end. We've seen that last year. Udit says the availability of QDK is the main reason. I know he will not play red ball cricket, but they have a certain future with Ishan. I agree. But does that certain future conclude to a 15.25 investment? I personally thought Ishan will go for 12, 12.5, 15. I felt was pushing it, but I absolutely understand the thought process here. Bharat says probably the opposition would give up their hopes at the 16th over because there's two of Bumrah and two of Archer. I absolutely agree. If this happens this year, then oppositions will be fearing it already. If it happens next year, we still have a year before we see this, but the attack of Bumrah and Jofra Archer, we cannot emphasize on it enough. It will kill oppositions in the death overs. I'll be a shocker to see who bowls a super over if ever needed. I think it'll still be Bumrah for Mumbai, but these two are both well deserving potential candidates for going for a super over for any team on any given day. The death overs will definitely be an added advantage for Mumbai, but again, the thing that they then miss out on is their death overs batting. They are used to having Hardik Pandya and Krunal Pandya with a Kyron Pollard. In case that does not happen, they are now reliant on Tim David. So we were talking about the middle order. तिलक वर्मा एक नए बैट्समैन है. तिलक वर्मा कैसा परफॉर्म करते हैं उससे काफी चीजें उस पे काफी चीजें डिपेंड करती है. They might just trust him at number 4 for this season. They might just want him to pop up as the new Ishan Kishan on the scene. But in case he doesn't, they will have some questions to answer, some strategies to rethink definitely. Uske baad, there is no doubt there's going to be a Kyron Pollard in their team. There's going to be Tim David to follow him up, and I think we have Janvi finally having joined up and fixed up things. Hi Janvi, do you hear me?
Yeah, finally, finally.
What was going wrong? What was going wrong?
I don't know what was going wrong. Wrong. I was trying to get in, but पता नहीं ना mic चल रहा ना कैमरा चल रहा.
I see Janvi had tried 5 6 times आके गई connect नहीं हुआ, but Janvi, I'll quickly introduce you before I get right back into it. I was trying to fly solo with Mumbai, but I'm happy you've joined me.
Yeah.
Janvi here is a budding sports analyst, sports broadcaster. She's done a lot of interviews on our podcast slash talk show with with people like Madan Lal, with people like lots of international cricketers. Actually, मैं नाम लेने लगूंगा तो बहुत लंबी list बन जाएगी. But definitely, everybody who's watching, you go and check out her work. It's something you'd really love as a cricket fan. Welcome, Janvi. How are you doing?
Thank you, Ujjwal, for such a lovely introduction. और followers को मैं ये बता दूं that Ujjwal was my inspiration. Because of him, I started this. So I asked him that how he conducts all the interviews, and he was the one to guide me and tell me कि ऐसे ऐसे सब चीजें होती हैं. So big thank you to you, Ujjwal, as well.
I really appreciate it. She's being too kind, but I appreciate what she just said. I'm happy to have you on the show, and I'll quickly dive right back into what I was talking about. I'll fill you in. बहुत सारे कमेंट्स पेंडिंग हो गया, मैं एक एक करके उन पे भी आता हूँ. मैं बेसिकली ये बोल रहा था कि मुंबई का सबसे पहले दे मिस्ड आउट ऑन क्विंटन डिकॉक.
Hmm.
I played out my opinion that I feel they could have invested more on him. तो वो होता, they might not have had to go for so much for Ishan Kishan. So quick question to you, write up Ishan Kishan 15.25 CR. You're happy with that as an MI fan?
100% उज्जवल. आई अग्री. ईशान किशन पे 15 करोड़ क्या, अगर उनको 17 तक भी जाना होता है, वुड हैव अग्रीड कि ईशान किशन को ले ले अपनी टीम पे. बिकॉज इफ यू सी, ईशान किशन इज अ बडिंग टैलेंट. एक युवा खिलाड़ी है वो, और आपकी टीम में इतने सालों से तो इतना अच्छा प्रदर्शन देता आ रहा है ईशान किशन. एंड ओवर ऑल दीज इयर्स ही इज प्रूव टू बी अ वेरी मैग्निफिसेंट प्लेयर. बिकॉज इफ यू सी, एक मुंबई इंडियंस से उठना, फिर उसका डेब्यू होना, इंडिया के लिए इतना नाम कमाना, उसका रिकॉर्ड ब्रेकिंग सब चीजें. आप एक ऐसे टैलेंट पे 100% इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो आंख बंद करके, जो आपको पता है कि आपके लिए आने वाले सालों में फ्रूटफुल होगा. द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इन माई प्रिव्यूज ऑल्सो आई सेड दैट वाज कि अगर एक भी पोजीशन और लेफ्ट होती, ही वुड हैव, मतलब वो ईशान किशन के पास जा चुकी होती. बट बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन बैरियर्स एंड रिस्ट्रिक्शंस कि नहीं, 3 प्लेयर्स को ही रिटेन कर सकते हैं, एक ओवरसीज या कुछ, इस वजह से ईशान किशन नहीं रिटेन हो पाया. I knew that Ishan Kishan will go for high bids, and he will definitely be taken back. मतलब MI ले लेंगी उनको वापस.
True. That I think all of us were predicting that. And do you think that was the reason they were not too active in the auction in the beginning, saving up
Yes,
the big
yes,
bucks?
yes, yes, yes. Definitely वो अपना पर्स बचा रहे थे. Because if you see, MI के पास इतना पर्स था भी नहीं. They were wanting, they had targeted Jofra, and they had targeted Ishan Kishan, because they knew कि दोनों के लिए हाइब्रिड्स जाएंगी, चाहे वो जोफ्रा हो चाहे वो ईशान किशन हो. सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेरे को थोड़ा से शॉकिंग ये लगा कि उन्होंने क्विंटन डिकॉक के लिए, और या जैसे राहुल चहार हो गया या यूजी हो गया, उनके लिए इतना ज्यादा नहीं वो किया. हालांकि वो अगर चाहते तो क्या पता कि हो सकता था उस पर्स में एडजस्ट. लेकिन उनके लिए उन्होंने इतनी बिड्स नहीं करी, जो कि मुझे लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं बॉलिंग कमजोर हो सकती है, विकेट कीपिंग ऑप्शन उनके पास लैक हो सकता है.
ट्रू, आपने जो बातें बोली उसमें दो तीन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं जिन पे हम एक एक करके आएंगे. स्पिनर्स की
हम्म.
आपने बात करी, दैट आई डेफिनेटली ब्रिंग अप विद यू. आर्चर इज डेफिनेटली अ मेजर टॉकिंग पॉइंट. बट बिफोर
हम्म.
दैट, हाउ आई वाज डूइंग दिस, आई वाज ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड अ प्लेइंग 11 अलोंगसाइड. तो उदित says Ujwal of Cricket Podcast, thanks buddy, thanks for being here every time. Bharat says MI is confident about Tilak Verma, which brings me to my next
हाँ.
point. um,
हाँ.
तिलक वर्मा probably वो बैट्समैन रहेंगे जो नंबर 4 पर फिल इन करेंगे. ही इज supposed to be
लेफ्ट
a
हैंडेड
regular
बैट्समैन है.
playing 11.
हाँ.
Um,
एक.
and the thing he says, it's Mumbai Indians, you never know. That's what I was saying. These big players in Indian cricket, they started from Mumbai Indians. A lot of them, the Pandya brothers, whom you admire a lot, I know. The Jasprit Bumrahs and Ishan Kishan, then Surya Kumar Yadavs of Indian cricket. But
हम्म.
Tilak Varma, you see that performance coming up again, or in case that he does not fire, where do you see the backup in the middle order batsman?
See, Ujjwal, the thing is that Mumbai is a franchisee which invests a lot in the young talent. And right now, the auctions which happened, it's not about the present situation. It's about
Mhm.
their planning for the future as well. They nurture the talents. And if you see, Tilak Verma is not a very known kind of a player that
Absolutely.
you can, go and bet on him. And, of course, he's a left handed batsman, can provide a right hand, left hand combination, can go in the middle order. You can definitely take a chance. You can definitely give a chance to the youngster to take up the responsibility as CSK did with Rutraj after failing three times regularly. I mean, Rutraj, if you remember, when he came for
Yeah.
CSK, तीन बार उसके लगातार पहली बॉल, दूसरी बॉल, तीसरी बॉल पे ऐसे विकेट हो रहे थे. But then eventually you saw that how Rutraj changed, how Rutraj evolved. I mean, 50-50 मारे जा रहा था ये वो. So the thing is that you need to invest on the young talents because of course it's mega auctions. No team has like इतनी क्या कोई सबकी स्ट्रॉन्ग स्ट्रेंथ वाली स्क्वाड रही नहीं है. Everyone will go for new talents. Every team will be struggling with सम और दी अदर प्लेयर्स, है ना. सबका देखने मिलेगा कि कौन सी टीम के लिए कौन सा प्लेयर, दे विल कम एज द ब्लैक हॉर्स. So the thing is that so they can go for Tilak Verma of course because he'll be providing a left hand combination. Also I feel that एमआई के लिए जो बैटिंग है ना वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन एक कहीं ना कहीं मिडिल ऑर्डर में अगर आप देखो तो हार्दिक पांड्या की जो जगह थी ना वो अभी भी मुझे आई फील दैट कोई नहीं भर सकता. बिकॉज अभी इन्होंने शायद से सिलेक्शन में टिम डेविड को ले लिया, डैनियल सैम्स को ले लिया है. तो
Yeah.
तिलक वर्मा से ज्यादा इन पे ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज होंगी मेरे ख्याल से. बट अब यही चीज है कि आपका डैनियल सैम्स या टिम डेविड भी आके वो आपको डिलीवर कर पाएंगे कि नहीं, जो एक टाइम पे हार्दिक पांड्या और कृणाल पांड्या मिलके आप 5-6 नंबर पे वो डिलीवर कर रहे थे. तो इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं मेरे को लग रहा है कि उनका मिडिल ऑर्डर थोड़ा सा कमजोर है.
Absolutely, I was just about to get to that too. Udit says, what if Pollard fails to deliver? Who will be the backup? I think they're not going to switch Pollard the whole season. He's their X factor. सारे मैच खेलेंगे, हो सकता है 14वां लास्ट में जिता दे, हो सकता है फाइनल्स में आके डिलीवर करे. You don't mess with the Pollard there. Like we said, not too many backups for a Tilak Verma in the middle order, but then we move forward to investing 9 CR in Tim David.
हाँ.
Understandably so, with Hardik Pandya having headed to Gujarat Titans, leading them, so they had a huge void to fill. Lots of hopes there ki Tim David performs as well as a Hardik Pandya, and it's not just about the performance. Actually, it
हम्म.
also becomes about the coordination between players. I feel Pandya and Pollard, these two were well accustomed to each other. These
या.
two were very adapted
हाँ.
to each other's batting styles, and then it also comes down कि क्या Tim David और Kyron Pollard वो साथ में कर सकते हैं. Um,
हाँ.
but like you said, we move forward from here. There's Kyron Pollard and there's Tim David. Then there's a Daniel Sams in their team. Then we move to the pure bowlers. They saved 10 CR by retaining Pollard and Sky, which allowed them to go all out for Ishan. That's a very good point because Sky at 8 and Pollard at 6, they are absolute steals. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड जानवी बॉलर्स पे आते हैं. मैं स्पिनर से चालू करता हूँ. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आपने बोली थी. चहल पे दे स्टॉप्ड इन्वेस्टिंग एट अराउंड 6 CR. राहुल चहर पे भी आई एम हैप्पी पंजाब गॉट हिम, बट आई थिंक दे स्टॉप्ड
हम्म.
इन्वेस्टिंग इन हिम टू सून. कहीं ना कहीं इस स्पिन bowling options a weak link in this team because I see
हाँ.
Murugan Ashwin in there, I see Mayank Markande who's been with them पहले. पर
हाँ.
what's your take on that?
See, I am happy for Mayank Markande because, firstly, if you remember, he was a very surprisingly good talent for MI because when he was in the squad in 2018, if you remember, he had amazing net sessions. And from the net session, he was got in the playing 11. And playing 11 में जाते ही उन्होंने सबसे पहले अपने मैच में MSD का विकेट लिया था, if you remember.
Yeah.
So, a young talent, good leggy, एंड प्रोवाइडिंग गुड वेरिएशंस एंड ऑप्शंस. गूगली भी काफी डालते हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से मयंक मार्कंडे जो है इट्स अ गुड ऑप्शन. अश्विन का मेरे को मतलब कोई तुक नजर नहीं आया था एमआई का लेने का बिकॉज इफ यू सी इन द प्लेइंग 11 राहुल या यूजी या अश्विन को आप तीनों को अगर कंपेयर करो सो अश्विन विल डेफिनेटली बी कमिंग ऑन द लास्ट ऑप्शन. अगर आपको इन्वेस्ट करना ही था, सो आई थिंक सो दैट कुड हैव बीन इन्वेस्टेड इन राहुल और लाइक युजवेंद्र चहल, जो कि वो गए भी थे एमआई उनके लिए, क्योंकि यूजी हैज प्लेड फॉर अ सर्टेन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम फॉर एमआई इन द इनिशियल आईपीएल. सो आई फेल दैट दे विल गो फॉर यूजी और दे विल गो फॉर उनके लिए, राहुल चहर के लिए. सो आई थिंक सो दैट उन्होंने लेग स्पिनिंग, मतलब आप एक एक तरीके से देखो, स्पिनिंग इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिपार्टमेंट एनी वन स्क्वाड, है ना. अगर आपके पास स्पिनर नहीं है तो फिर आप फास्ट बॉलर से पूरा गेम नहीं खिलवा सकते हो. सो मेरे ख्याल से स्पिनिंग के ऑप्शंस एमआई के पास कुछ खास नहीं है.
आई एग्री विद यू देयर। और स्पिन एक जितना वीक एलिमेंट आई थिंक उतना ही स्ट्रॉन्ग एलिमेंट उन्होंने अपने फास्ट
हम्म.
बॉलिंग यूनिट को बनाया है.
हम्म.
नो ऑफिशियल कंफर्मेशन एज टू वेदर जोफ्रा आर्चर विल बी हियर सून. देयर सोर्सेज, देयर रूमर्स, एंड एज फैंस वी
हम्म.
होप कि वो आ जाएं. बट इन केस ही डजंट, दे स्टिल हैव अ गुड बॉलिंग यूनिट देयर. टिमाल मिल्स विद जसप्रीत बुमराह, यू आर एक्साइटेड फॉर दैट कॉम्बिनेशन?
हाँ, देखो सी, अगर जोफ्रा नहीं आता है, सो उज्जवल अगेन, इफ यू हर्ड अबाउट द कॉन्वर्सेशन विच आकाश अंबानी हैड. So through his conversations, if you could make out that he himself was prepared, okay, for this season, it might happen that Jofra will not be here, but I'm very excited to have him in the team because the after this year, all the other IPLs, we will have a very fierce kind of a combination, right? So the thing is that if Jofra is not here, so आप एक तरीके से किस पे rely कर रहे हो? बुमराह पे कर रहे हो, and all the young buys, Mills एंड दिस टिम डेविड, इन सब पे आप, राइली मेडिरिथ, तो इन सब लोगों पे आप कहीं ना कहीं रिलाई करोगे. और अब की बार देख लेना, इट विल बी नॉट स्पेशलिस्ट बॉलर्स उज्जवल, कि जैसे बुमराह के आप ट्रेंट बोल्ट को खिलवाते थे, आप बुमराह को खिलवाते थे, आप नेथिन कुंटनाइल को खिलवाते थे आके. अब की बार ये नहीं होगा. अब की बार द टीम विल बी एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम द ऑलराउंडर्स आल्सो टू गिव अ बॉलिंग ऑप्शन. जैसे अगर अभी आप देखो मुंबई इंडियंस के स्क्वाड में, जब तक हार्दिक पांड्या बॉलिंग नहीं भी कर रहा था, ही कुड अकोमोडेट हिज प्लेस एंड स्टिल बी इन द प्लेइंग 11, राइट. ही, मुंबई कुड हैव यूज्ड हिम एज अ स्पेशलिस्ट बैट्समैन इफ नॉट एज अ बॉलर, है ना. लेकिन अब क्योंकि दे हैड bowling options, बट नाउ एमआई lacks a lot of bowling options, so I feel that all the playing 11 में जितने भी ऑलराउंडर्स होंगे, they will also be expected to bowl well.
Absolutely, and Udit says Ashwin is a good leg spinner, consistent. I agree. Udit consistent with Punjab bhi the, and quick arm leg spin is a real commodity. मेरे actual playing 11 में I was placing him higher than Mayank Markande, but that's just a perspective. There are a lot of things here. और मयंक मार्कंडे भी एक बहुत underrated player है जो वो भी डार्क हॉर्स बन सकते हैं उस टीम के. So we can't
हम्म.
really predict that right now. बट जानवी बॉलिंग की बात करें, डैनियल सैम्स हमने इंक्लूड करा था. आई एम श्योर
हाँ.
जसप्रीत बुमराह इज प्लेइंग एंड मयंक मार्कंडे मेड इट टू योर टीम. Those are your 12 overs. You still need those two other bowlers in your lineup. आपके हिसाब से अभी ऑप्शंस बहुत है. आई थिंक टाइमल मिल्स विल प्ले. There's also Riley Meredith who could fill in for him as a foreign pacer. They
हम्म.
could decide to play a Fabian Allen as their extra spinner जो जो लास्ट में हिटिंग भी कर सकते हैं. तो वो जो दो स्लॉट्स बचे हैं, ऑफ कोर्स दे जयदेव उनाडकट आल्सो, जो दो स्लॉट्स बचे हैं, हाउ डू यू फिल देम? अब आपके दो बॉलर्स कौन है यहाँ पे?
आई थिंक सो ओवरसीज ऑप्शंस में अगर देखा जाए, सो दे विल गो फॉर टिम डेविड because he's a batting all-rounder, so he'll give them option एक पुलार्ड के बाद या पुलार्ड से पहले, जहां पे भी वो प्लेस करना चाहे. सेकंड, आई फील डैनियल सैम्स विल बी इंक्लूडेड, वो तो 100% इंक्लूड होंगे. एंड द थर्ड bowling ऑप्शन दे विल बी गोइंग फॉर इज जयदेव उनादकट, बिकॉज आई फील दैट इंडियन bowling ऑप्शन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि आप सारे ओवरसीज को नहीं खिलवा सकते हो अपने पास. सो आई फील दैट टिम डेविड, डैनियल सैम्स, जयदेव विल बी इंक्लूडेड डेफिनेटली, एंड मयंक ऑफ कोर्स.
Mayank, of course. So that makes your 11. We have it on the screen for all of you guys watching. Any thing you want to have us discuss about this team? Any comments on this team? Any changes you want to see? Feel free to drop them down. One more player here is Udit says Basil Thampi ko mauka do. I really want him to play. He was really good actually in the IPL earlier. Somehow disappeared, like it happens with a lot of players. But I would also be excited to see him back. But I'll take you forward from this conversation since we have a playing 11 ready. You of course love to analyze the sport. You of course love to watch the game as a perspective of a fan also. So
Mhm.
एक फैन के पर्सपेक्टिव से ही अगर पूछूं, at the auction, any players you wanted MI to go back for or MI to buy which they didn't actually get?
I wanted three players on MI,
There's three. Okay,
actually.
you seem ready for
Yeah.
this answer.
I had three players in my mind. One, I wanted Yuzi to be included.
Uh-huh.
Second, I wanted Rahul to be back. And third, I wanted Quinton de Kock to be back.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. At least one of Rahul and Yuzi would have added to the strength. Quinton de Kock has been formidable for them, and
Yeah.
a very different discussion, but something that always
Imagine,
comes to mind.
imagine Ujjwal, Jofra, Bumrah, Yuzi, Rahul.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. But it was impossible to get both. At least one of these spinners would have been there.
हाँ,
And I, like I
हाँ.
was saying, a very different discussion. But Quinton is now paired up with KL Rahul, which is
Yeah.
also one partnership I'm really excited
Deadly
for.
combination.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's something wrong with my internet or hers, but I hope I'm still back or I'm still up on the live.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do you hear me, Janvi? Do you hear me?
या मैं कह रही हूँ
Cool.
लखनऊ की टीम अब की बार ज्यादा अच्छी होने वाली है आई फील
बहुत अच्छी है, बहुत अच्छी है। केएल और
हाँ
क्विंटन की हमने बात करी, बट रशिंग बैक टू मुंबई बिफोर वी हिट द 30-minute mark. We talked about the three players you wanted MI to take. She said Quinton de Kock, Rahul Chahar, and Yuzvendra Chahal. Sorry, Rahul Chahar and Yuzvendra Chahal always gets confusing. But any players you feel MI shouldn't have gone for, and now they have him in the team?
um see I have the list in front of me so Mayank good selection Jofra very good selection new youngsters Tilak Verma Sanjay Yadav all these people मुझे मैं सही बताऊं तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है that why did MI went for a lot of not very known players rather than not investing in someone you actually had played with and know this person can be a good deal for our team. So as I said that they went for Sanjay Yadav, they like maybe they wanted to invest in a lot of young talents because they are not thinking of present, they are thinking of the future. They want to nurture talents and लेट्स सी मुंबई के स्क्वाड में कैसे क्या होता है बट मुझे लग रहा था कि अश्विन वाज नॉट गुड सिलेक्शन आई मीन they could
Okay,
have gone for better spinning options rather than going for Ashwin.
Murugan Ashwin. Okay, that makes sense. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, I'll put two questions in front of you: value picks and surprise picks. Value picks, the player you feel they got for a fairly reasonable price, and surprise picks can be somebody you feel they spent too much on, or somebody you didn't really expect them to get at all. Probably a
Can you
Murugan Ashwin, like you just said.
can you
Uh-huh.
क्या या can you tell me अश्विन कितने में एमआई ने लिया
Murugan Ashwin, I think I'll quickly give you that. Yeah, 1.6 CR.
हाँ so I think so him a surprise pick
Okay.
1.6 yeah yes him it's gonna be surprise pick for me and the good pick I think so Jofra.
Jofra Archer is
Huh.
your
I
value
felt
good
that
pick.
Jofra could go more than 8 CR, to be honest.
Agreed,
Jofra
agreed.
could have
Jofra
gone
Archer
to
is a
higher bids. Because if you see in this auction as well, there were bowlers getting higher rates than the batters this IPL auction.
true.
And I felt that Jofra could have gone for more than 8 CR because I know his injury concerns are there. But yeah, look at his spells, look at his, bowling and the speed which he bowls from. Any team would have gone for Jofra. So 8 CR, I feel that it's a fair deal कि MI को 8 CR में मिल गया. Yeah.
Absolutely, and if the fans are happy, I feel the franchises are always doing it right. We put out a playing 11. Bharat says they might go with this 11 in the second game. In the first game, they always show some surprises. That's actually true for Mumbai Indians. Bharat, also let us know what surprise if you can predict what this is. But Janvi, I'll move a little apart from Mumbai Indians for now and take you to the IPL auction as a whole. We've been doing this with every guest. सबको हमने बोला कि on paper आपकी अभी के लिए बेस्ट चार टीम कौन सी है. So अगेन द सेम प्रोसेस. आप भूल जाओ कि एक मैचेस भी होने हैं. आप बस ये सोचो कि आपके सामने सिर्फ टीम शीट्स हैं. तो चार
हम्म.
टीम्स जो इस ऑक्शन के बाद आपके हिसाब से बेस्ट वेल राउंडेड बनी हुई है.
सबसे पहले लखनऊ.
लखनऊ एब्सोल्युटली.
लखनऊ की टीम वेरी गुड सिलेक्शंस ओपनिंग से लेकर मिडिल ऑर्डर बॉलिंग सब दिया है लखनऊ ने सो लखनऊ सेकंड विल बी दिल्ली कैपिटल्स
ओके.
good frame team good options good backup options as well and Delhi Capitals Then I would rate मुंबई इंडियंस को मैं पता नहीं 4 मैं करूँ ना करूँ बट ओके
That's a fan
सो
versus an analyst going on right now. अभी अंदर internal battle चल रहा है.
हाँ सो अभी तो लखनऊ दिल्ली कैपिटल्स देन राजस्थान रॉयल्स गुड
Rajasthan,
बॉलिंग
of course.
गुड
Yeah.
बॉलिंग ऑप्शंस नाउ बिकॉज उनकी बॉलिंग काफी अब स्ट्रांग हो गई है सो राजस्थान रॉयल्स देन फोर्थ टीम वुड बी पंजाब
Punjab. Beautiful. So, that's the team I support, by the way, if you were surprised with the reaction. But these four teams, she said, Punjab, Rajasthan, Delhi, and Lucknow Super Giants, these are the four strongest teams on paper. And out of these four teams, we can't put you on the spot to predict what happens in the end. It's too soon for that. पर अगर मैं आपको पूछूं मुंबई इंडियंस नाउ these are the four strongest teams doesn't mean they don't make it to the playoffs. I'm sure you'll say Mumbai will be in the playoffs. I'm sure you'll say Mumbai can still win this. But your quick prediction after this season, where is Mumbai Indians?
See, Mumbai Indians, I feel that it can qualify for the playoffs, but this time I see a new team winning.
This time you see a new team winning. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Mumbai makes it to the playoffs still. Udit is a little sad. वो KKR के fan है वो पिछले 7 गेस्ट में किसी ने बोला नहीं top 4 teams में KKR को on paper. So he's been waiting to hear that till now. But he also puts out a prediction for Mumbai Indians 6th position this time around. Tough. मुंबई फिर भी हमेशा ऊपर तो रहती है. Not sure if that happens. But before I let you go, Janvi, we've already crossed the 30-minute mark. But before I let you go, any talking points, any discussions you feel we must have talked about in Mumbai but we've missed out on?
ऐसे तो कोई बात नहीं है. You covered all the points, Ujjwal. The thing is that you missed on Hardik Pandya though.
I
Yes.
I was thinking about the time because I know if you think about Hardik Pandya, अभी हमारे आधा घंटा बात कर सकते हैं. But now that you brought him up, I'll take your quick opinion on your reaction when they let go of him,
He was the
and
captain.
yeah, and when now he's going to lead Gujarat. So does that create a conflict for you?
No, not at all. I'm very happy for him that he is going to captain this side. You know, people are legit crazy. They're like, oh my God, Hardik Pandya is the captain. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I know Hardik is the captain. And you know, IPL brings always unexpected surprises, Ujjwal, in the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So you see IPL and you were like, oh my God, ये player कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच गया, right? So IPL is full of unexpected surprises. So I feel very happy that Hardik Pandya is the captain. The only thing I pray and I wish for that his injury concerns fade away and he gives a very good bowling option as well because he will be justifying as a captain when he bowls and when he bats. So as an all-rounder, if he goes for the captaincy, then I think so. Hardik Pandya is going to be a very, very good option, very good captaincy option. But it's just that you can't use him only as a specialist batsman. You need
Mm-hmm.
to bring him out as an all-rounder, basically, because that position suits him the best. So I feel that Hardik will be a good option. Like he is a very good option for captaincy. It's just that he needs to little, work on his bowling as well for this season. It's just that. And I know his team will rock any which ways.
Mm-hmm. And if it's Gujarat Titans versus Mumbai Indians, who are you supporting?
Of course, Gujarat.
Of course, Gujarat. Wow. I,
I supported
that's
MI because of him. So now he's not there. So
That's very interesting. Udit has a sort of fan-like question for you. Hardik Pandya leaves Mumbai for money or for captaincy? I don't
he
know how
doesn't
you.
leave Mumbai. He was released by MI. So he will never want to leave Mumbai because if you see, yeah, Hardik Pandya had a lot of good memories and a lot of good things with MI. I mean, Krunal, Hardik, all together, Pollard, this trio, Hardik with Ishan Kishan, the rapport which Ishan and Hardik has. So basically, मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी कोई willingly छोड़ा होगा मुंबई को. It's just that because it had restricted options basically. So Mumbai had to release him.
Absolutely. And one final quick question for you before you go. If I ask you to rate Mumbai Indians out of 10, where do you put them? Absolutely
Like
based
in
on the
the
team they formed.
like for the squad which they put up.
Yeah.
I would rate MI 7.
7 out of 10. That's still better than one of the teams we did. I don't remember which one now. We've done seven, eight.
SRH was the worst. SRH was the worst.
SRH was the worst for you. I think SRH is one team we're left to analyze. उसकी क्या rating आती है उसके expert से. Let's see what
उनकी
what
2
their
आएंगी for sure.
दो आएंगी. Wow. नहीं, फैन का भी एक फीलिंग होता है ना, वो अपनी टीम को दो तो नहीं दे के
वो
जाएंगे.
फैन बेचारा खुद रो रहा होगा एसआरएच के सिलेक्शंस देख के.
Interesting. I think I saw your story also. SRH, I feel you don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it all.
You should remove SRH, man. How can you make Abhishek Sharma as the vice captain? He
They
haven't even
haven't done
played
that
enough
officially yet,
matches.
ना. अभी तो
Huh?
officially नहीं किया अभी. They
अभी
just
किया
talk
नहीं है,
about
but there are talks that if Abhishek Sharma is gonna be the vice captain, God knows, man. Abhishek, how can you make someone a captain who hasn't even like he hasn't played the number of matches also, and you making him as a captain?
Yeah, but
Strange.
one thing I'm still actually excited to watch is Abhishek Sharma, the opener, क्योंकि उन्होंने शायद मुश्ताक अली ट्रॉफी में बहुत बहुत अच्छा किया था. बहुत अच्छी 180 के स्ट्राइक रेट पे. आई थिंक ही प्लेड ऑल सीजन एज एन ओपनर. ही इज गोइंग टू बी ओपनिंग विद विलियमसन, तो शायद वहां पे कुछ कुछ है उस टीम में. बट कांट डेफिनेटली प्रिडिक्ट इट. I think those are all the discussions I had for Mumbai Indians prepared. That's a lot of more than 35 minutes today that we've done. Before I let you go, I feel all the viewers should know. I definitely go check out Janvi's Instagram handle. There's a lot of interesting cricketing conversations there with a lot of broadcasters, cricketers, and I think all of these fields you've covered. Dietitians you've covered. Young generation cricketers, under 19 ones. So lot of conversations in there you could hear, and lots of fun if you hear them. Thank you, Janvi, for having joined us. It's been really good to have you, and there's been good positive feedback in your presence. So I hope we have you here again soon.
Thank you, Ujjwal, and I hope all your followers and everyone liked it as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Departing note from Bharat. Bharat has been noting the fact that I've been trying to match as much color combinations of the team I'm analyzing. So there's only Gujarat and Lucknow left. So he says light blue jersey for 22. Thank you, Bharat. Light blue it will be when I analyze Gujarat. Appreciate it, buddy. See you all soon, and thank you for joining in. Take care.
Okay. Bye, Ujjwal.